Okay, good morning and welcome to Mishna Yomi. Today we're learning Masechtas Kilayim, the end of Perek Hey, Mishnah Ches, and the beginning of Perek Vav, Mishnah Aleph. Let's start Mishnah Ches. Mekayim Kotzim Bekerem. Someone who decides he has thorns growing in the middle of his vineyard. And we learned yesterday you can't even Mekayim, you can't even leave them there as long as you have knowledge about them. You don't plan on uprooting them. Lezer Omer Kidesh. It actually is Mekadesh. If it grows 1/200th, the vines, so it's Mekadesh, then it's considered a mixture. The Chum Omrim Loki. The Chum say it's not Mekadesh. The Mfarshim explain, the Gemara in Shabbos explains that this is only a minhag to leave thorns in the middle of your vineyard in a place in Arabia, I guess Arabian Peninsula. There they do it because they have their camels that feed off these while they're taking care of the vineyard. The camels feed off the thorns, the thistles. The rest of the world doesn't. The Chum say, right, in place of, so therefore Elazar says, no matter where, since there's a place like that, so it's low bata daita everywhere, it's considered Mekayim Kilayim, it's considered a different min. And according to the Chamim, only in the Arabian Peninsula we say that, but if not the Arabian Peninsula, outside, bata daita, most people don't do it. What these things are exactly, they're different types of vegetables. I don't exactly know what these types of vegetables are. I would need probably an article to explain. Shana Zamelach, I think the Raji Bartinu says a rose. Someday it's not a rose. These are not considered kilayim in the kerem. What does it mean? They're not kilayim even if you plant them, or only if you're mekayim them. I would say these mean like flowers over there. Some Farshim say it means yarakos, different types of vegetables. The point is, I think the Yachan the Tiferes Yisrael says these are not types of plants that look like eshkolos, look like vines. They look like grapes. They just have seeds. And therefore, they would not be kilayim midoraisa and kerem midorabanan. They would be. That's what they say. Mitarfan omer einan kilayim bekerem. Canvas, I guess is canvas, which would be a flax plant. Normally, canvas used to be made out of flax. Mitarfan omer einan kilayim says that doesn't make the kerem kilayim. Chum omrim kilayim. Chum it does. Kinras kilayim bekerem. Kinras, again, a different type of plant, would be, according to everybody, kilayim bekerem. It's the end of Perek Hey. Perek Vav Mishnah Aleph. Ezu Aris. What's considered an Aris? An Aris is a type of, it's one row of vines. And you take the vine, you wrap them around like a piece of wood. Some of you have pergolas. More people in Israel have pergolas, but some people in America have pergolas, which is like an open type of structure, or you would put schach on if you make it into a sukkah. They have open beams on the top, and a lot of people do it for decorative purposes. They wrap vines around the beams on top to make it look nice. It's sort of like an open-aired sukkah. Ezu Aris. What's considered an Aris? Which, even though we learned according to Beis Hillel, you need to have 2 rows to make it a kerem. An Aris, it might have the din of a kerem, even 1 row, because it's considered a fancy thing that you wrap it around pieces of wood, the vine, so it looks more like a kerem. It has to have a row of 5 kfanim besad hagader, next to the fence, and they wrap it around the fence. Where it's next to a ditch, which is 10 tefachim deep and 4 tefachim wide. It has the din of a kerem, so therefore, if you want to plant something else, you have to distance to 4 amos. Where do you start measuring the 4 amos from? These are you measure it from the last of the vines, the roots of the vines, to the sada where you want to plant something else. So Beis Hillel says no, you actually measure. You have the fence next to the vines. You measure from the fence. They're more machmir than Beis Shammai. He says, first opinion, Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel are not correct in this. He argues and says that even Beis Hillel and Beis Shammai would agree this is not considered. Even Beis Hillel would consider it's not a kerem unless it has 2 rows. All it means that if you have 4 amos from this row of fanim to the fence where you wrap the vines around, so then you can distance 6 tefachim and plant something else. If it's less than 4 amos, you can't plant anything there between the vines and the fence. And how much do you have to distance before you plant something else? 6 tefachim to every direction. Rabbi Akiva Omer Shlosha, he says 3 tefachim in any direction. That'll be the end of the Mishnah today. Stick with me for Ian with Mishnah. It's coming up next.